The story begins in a calm and inviting old age home where many elderly residents live. Some are too unwell to care for themselves, while others suffer from deep loneliness and lack companionship. On the surface, the facility seems peaceful and safe. However, beneath this veneer of tranquility, serious misconduct is taking place. One day, a man tries to enter the old age home without permission. The security staff quickly steps in and calls the police. The man introduces himself as Mr. Felstrom and tells the authorities that his mother has been admitted to the home against her will. He is currently barred from seeing or contacting her. The person behind this situation is Mara Grayson, who pretends to care for the elderly and positions herself as their guardian. In reality, Mara is deceiving everyone. She has devised a clever and secretive plan to exploit the residents. She appears in court and makes false claims, asserting that certain elderly individuals can no longer care for themselves. She uses forged reports from doctors who are secretly on her payroll. Once the court is persuaded by her claims, the judge grants her full control over the individuals' lives. Following this, Mara restricts the elderly from contacting their families, seizes their homes, finances, and all personal belongings, and then sells off everything they owned. The owners of the care home benefit from this setup, which is why they support Mara in carrying it out. Mara's partner, Fran, works alongside her as well. Together, they ensure that everything runs smoothly and that no complications arise. Mr. Felstrom is deeply upset and tries to fight back in court. He argues that Mara took his mother without any legitimate reason. However, Mara tells the judge that his mother has a mental illness and that her son worsens her condition. The judge is convinced by Mara's explanation and allows her to keep control. Mr. Felstrom is enraged. He tries to intimidate Mara after the court session, but she ignores him. She has used this same strategy on many elderly individuals before and always manages to avoid being caught. Later, one of the doctors connected to Mara gives her a new identity, Jennifer Peterson. Jennifer is an elderly woman living alone. She has a large house, significant wealth, and no known relatives. Mara sees her as the perfect next target. As usual, a false report is filed with the court claiming that Jennifer's mental state is declining. The judge accepts this assertion and quickly grants Mara full control over Jennifer's life. Mara arrives at Jennifer's home with legal papers. Jennifer is shocked and cannot grasp what is happening. She is taken to the same nursing home as the others. Her phone is taken away, and she is not allowed to leave. Mara and Fran begin to search through her home and possessions. They have sold Jennifer's car and are planning to renovate her house for resale as well. While sorting through her possessions, they discover a concealed key. This key unlocks a safety deposit box at the bank. Within the box lies a book containing sparkling diamonds hidden among its pages. Mara is thrilled, as the diamonds hold significant monetary value. While Mara manages the diamonds, Fran continues her efforts on Jennifer's house. Subsequently, a man named Alexei arrives in search of Jennifer. He is informed that she no longer resides there and that the house has been transferred to another owner. He departs quietly and returns to his employer, a menacing figure named Roman Laff. Roman is not merely affluent. He is the head of a ruthless criminal organization. Moreover, Jennifer is not just an ordinary woman. She is Roman's mother. Upon learning that his mother is missing and that all her assets have vanished, Roman becomes extremely furious. He instructs Alexei to investigate the situation immediately and cautions him against failure. Alexei reviews official records and discovers that Jennifer was deemed mentally unstable and placed in a care facility. All her belongings have been liquidated, and a woman named Mara now holds authority over them. Roman wishes to keep his criminal activities concealed, so he opts to resolve the issue discreetly. He dispatches his attorney to negotiate with Mara. The lawyer warns her that she is in danger and offers a large sum of money to secure Jennifer's release, but Mara's greed leads her to reject the offer. She wants an even greater amount, convinced that this is just another empty threat like those she has faced before. During their next court appearance, Marlowe wins again. There is no proof linking Jennifer to anyone, allowing Mara to maintain full control. Meanwhile, Fern starts to feel uneasy. After finding the diamonds, she decides to dig into Jennifer's past. What she discovers is shocking. The real Jennifer Peterson died long ago, and the person they have is an imposter who stole Jennifer's identity years earlier. This revelation terrifies Mara, yet she continues with her plans. At the same time, Roman checks his mother's safe deposit box only to find it empty. The diamonds are gone, and he is furious. Determined to act quickly, he sends Alexei and two other men to retrieve his mother at any cost. They concoct a false story about wanting to admit a new resident to the care facility. The staff agrees and starts giving them a tour. Alexei quietly checks each room in the facility. Eventually, he finds Roman's mother, but then things take a turn for the worse. A security officer catches them. In the struggle that follows, the officer kills Alexei's two companions, but he also loses his life. Now, only Alexei is left. He pulls out a gun and orders the staff to open the main entrance. Just as he is about to leave with Roman's mother, Mara and French arrive to intervene. The police quickly show up after the failed rescue attempt. With law enforcement already on the scene, Roman feels powerless to take action. His mother is returned to the care home and secured once again. The police take Alexei into custody for questioning, but he remains tight-lipped and reveals nothing. Later, the police inform Mara and Fran that Alexei and the two deceased individuals were linked to a dangerous Russian crime syndicate, all of whom had extensive criminal records. Roman is now filled with rage, feeling utterly helpless and consumed by anger. This time, he decides to ignore all rules. Soon after, a shocking incident occurs. The doctor who declared Roman's mother mentally unstable is found dead at his home. The news spreads quickly. Mara sees the report and realizes that a powerful individual is now targeting her. She knows this person will not stop until they get what they want. Mara and Fran conclude that they are in serious danger and that staying in the city is no longer safe. They come up with a plan to escape and disappear before the situation worsens. However, before they can leave, Roman's associates launch an attack, capturing Fran and abducting her. Mara is also knocked unconscious and taken away. When she regains consciousness, Marlowe finds herself tied to a tree deep in the woods, surrounded by unfamiliar men. Roman is also present, watching her closely. He tells her that he is after two things: his mother and the stolen diamonds. If he fails to secure them, those Mara loves will be at risk. Mara keeps her cool, trying to act as if she is simply handling business. She even asks for a higher payment, thinking she can turn the situation to her favor. However, Roman has had enough. He orders his men to kill her and make it look like an accident. One of the men tries to incapacitate her with chemicals. Just before Mara loses consciousness, she manages to see the license plate number of the vehicle and memorizes it. The men then place her in the driver's seat of a car, uncork a bottle of alcohol, set it next to her, and push the car into a lake to stage a drunk driving accident. As the car starts to sink, Mara regains consciousness just in time. Despite her injuries and extreme fatigue, she manages to escape from the vehicle and swim to the surface. Mara trudges for a long distance, feeling cold and in pain. After what feels like endless walking, she finds a small store. Using some stolen money, she buys new clothes to change her appearance. She writes the car's number on her hand to remember it. When Mara finally returns home, she is met with a terrifying scene. Fran is lying on the floor, nearly lifeless. The kitchen is filled with gas, indicating that someone tried to kill her too. Mara rescues Fran from the house just moments before it detonates. They narrowly escape with their lives. After a few days of recuperation, Mara's initial fear transforms into rage. She is no longer afraid. She seeks vengeance. She presents Fran with two options. They can either sell the diamonds and vanish forever, or they can retaliate. Fran opts to remain and assist. Utilizing her connections and the police, Fran tracks down the license plate number that Mara recalled. Eventually, they discover the location where the car was last spotted. Although Roman is not present, they find out he is hiding at the residence of someone he trusts. Mara and Fran start to shadow Roman's driver relentlessly. They observe intently and bide their time. After several days, the driver enters a parking garage. Disguised, Mara sneaks inside. She employs a taser to incapacitate the driver and conceals herself nearby. Shortly after, Roman arrives accompanied by a bodyguard. As he enters the vehicle, Mara launches her attack. She sedates Roman with a tranquilizer and knocks out the bodyguard. Subsequently, she drives the car out of the garage to where Fran is waiting. Together, they transport Roman deep into the forest. There, they strip him of any identifying items, incinerate the car, and leave him unconscious in the woods, unable to summon help. The following morning, a man jogging through the forest spots Roman and calls for assistance. Roman is taken to the hospital and survives. Days later, Mara finds herself beside his hospital bed after he wakes up. Since Roman has no identification and is critically ill, the court has appointed someone to make decisions for him, Mara. At first, Roman cannot speak due to the medical equipment, but once he regains his voice, he calls for Mara. She enters his room with a new proposal. If he still wants his mother and the diamonds, he must pay an even steeper price. Roman is taken aback by her boldness. Instead of resisting further, he changes his approach and suggests a partnership. He proposes that they create a significant legal business together. Mara has the fraudulent system, while Roman has the funds. By combining their resources, they can turn the scam into a legitimate enterprise and operate it lawfully. They could open care homes, hospitals, and pharmacies under one name, using it to build a fortune. Mara is intrigued by the idea and agrees to the plan. She releases Roman's mother and uses the diamonds to help kickstart their new business. They set up multiple care centers, hire more caregivers, and ensure everything looks above board. They carefully conceal their tracks. Their business grows rapidly, and Mara gains wealth and fame. She appears in magazines, gives speeches, and is celebrated as a remarkable entrepreneur. She marries Fran, and they lead a life of luxury and success. It seems they have won, but life has an unexpected twist waiting for them. One day, after finishing a television interview, Marlowe leaves the studio. A man from the audience steps forward. It is Mr. Fellstrom, the son of the woman who was taken at the story's outset. He pulls out a gun and shoots Mara in front of the shocked crowd. Fellstrom tells them that Mara destroyed his family. His mother died alone in one of Mara's care facilities, never allowed to see him again. He claims this was the only way to bring justice for her. Despite her immense power and wealth, Mara dies in Fran's arms. The woman who built a thriving empire by exploiting others is ultimately stopped by a man who never forgot her deeds. While Roman turned his pain into riches, Fellstrom chose to pursue justice on his own terms.